of you, and a very good morning. Thanks for joining our session. I think there's still people going to join us, I hope. We have a great set of panelists here. Really, two of them are from tourism boards. One of them, a hotelier, been in the hotel trade for almost 30, 40 years. And here we have Brother Salah, who is from Al Sharaf Group and who has been in a lot of businesses, including the travel side of the business. Today we're going to talk about the travel sector, family-friendly travel or Muslim-friendly travel. There are many terms used to define or refer to this sector. We have talked a lot the last few years about how the market size, it's 145 billion worth last year, going to be 200 billion in 2020. And many destinations are looking at this market. So we're not really going to talk a lot today about the market size and how important and all that. We'll just assume that it's big and it's important. We're going to spend a little bit more time today on, what are the success stories, how has businesses converted this opportunity into businesses, what next, what are the challenges, and also we'll try and look at, what are the opportunities for entrepreneurs and SMEs in this market space. So that's what we're going to do. Before I get started, I'm going to ask all our panelists to just briefly introduce themselves, starting with Brother Salah.
A brief introduction about our organization, Sharaf Group, which is into various sectors of travel and tourism, shipping and logistics. I'm heading the shipping and logistics and the travel side of the organization.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Huriya Al-Arabi and I am from the Abu Dhabi Tourism and Culture Authority from the Leisure Department. Basically, we are responsible of enhancing the leisure product for visitors and residents alike.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Very good morning to everyone. My name is Zulkifli Muhammad Said, representing the Islamic Tourism Center, an agency under the Ministry of Tourism and Culture of Malaysia. Our agency was established through a cabinet approval in 2009, and our core activities, among others, to conduct study, market research, capacity building for industry players in and out of the country, and also establish networking among the Islamic tourism sectors within and out of the country. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Suryanto Sofyan. I'm with the Sofyan Hotels Group. We are a hotels company. We established the company in 1970, so about 45 years ago. And then we went public in 1989. And in 1992, we decided to adopt the Islamic Sharia principle to be base of our operations. And since then, Alhamdulillah, we have been growing during the transformation process, about 15% growth per year. And for the last 5 years, we have been growing in exponents in very significant, from 3 hotels to in 2011, and then now we have 19 hotels in our portfolio all over Indonesia. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. You see, you have a wealth of experience out here. Before I get started on questions, I just want to get a feel of who the audience is. Can those who are all of you are travelers, so all of you can relate to what you're going to talk. But can those who are directly related to the travel business, how many of you are there? Okay, that's it? Okay, good. Okay, so I'll try and get you involved as well as we go along. So let's start with Mr. Salah. So you have been in the forefront of a lot of businesses, and you are now handling travel business as well. So let's look at from a board perspective, at a high level. Have you looked at, how have you looked at the Muslim travel market? And has there been discussion strategy at the board level?
I mean, the Muslim travel market is a huge travel market, and to us, we look at it a bit differently. I mean, every traveler, whether he's a Muslim or a non-Muslim, is a customer. So as a group, as we are based in Dubai, and Dubai is, the laws are according to the Sharia law under the law of Imam Malik. So all the businesses which are structured in Dubai have to follow these laws which are there. So for us, being in a country which is part of the OIC, it is easier to establish businesses. But looking at the Muslim travel market, the main criteria for the Muslim travel market is the person himself, the Muslim himself. So it is the ethics and the behavior of the Muslim which portrays to the industry.
So in terms of the travel business that you're doing, have you looked at developing new products when it comes to the Muslim market, or are you just looking at as just another general segment?
For us here again in Dubai, let me split the Muslim travel market into two separate entities, where we look at the Muslim travel market incoming into the UAE and the Muslim travel market which is outgoing out of the UAE. And then you have also the outgoing is split into two, where you have the OIC, part of the Islamic countries, and the non-OIC. And when we look at the travel for the consumers, the Muslim travel or the halal component is one of the components which makes the factor. So when a customer decides to travel, there are three other criteria which we look into at the country. First is the security of the country. How secure is it? How safe is it? Then the ease of entrance, the barriers of entry to the country, because this plays an important role. Then there's the third one is the language barrier. So to give an example for a non-OIC country where we have been targeting consumers, I give an example of the city of Gold Coast in Australia, which is probably 14 hours flight from here. And we have seen a success in promoting, as we say, tourism, Muslim and non-Muslim tourism into the Gold Coast, because the facilities which are available are, we can tick off these boxes which are according to the Islamic or the Muslim. For example, people are looking for furnished apartments which do not serve alcohol. You have that. Prayer facilities are available. Even in the theme parks, prayer facilities are available. Then you have the halal food, the wide range of halal food, because also halal food also plays a very important role for the customers to make a decision whether to travel or not.
Sure.
And then talking about the inbound side of the tourism, most of the services that we provide here are all accordingly to the Muslim consumer travelers.
Thanks. I'll get back and expand on that. Let me get to Sister Huria. By the way, probably you should read her profile, and she speaks German, Spanish, French, on top of Arabic as well. So anyway, you have been instrumental in the last few years, taking Abu Dhabi, especially on the Muslim travel market. You have done a lot of stuff. Can you, explain a couple of major initiatives that you have taken the last few months on targeting the Muslim market?
Yes. In Abu Dhabi, we have recognized the value of this market, and we have recognized the importance of focusing on this market. When I say focusing, actually, it's just maybe redefining and creating a campaign for this, because the offer that we have in Abu Dhabi has always suited the Muslim market, alhamdulillah. Even before anybody called it halal tourism, Abu Dhabi, the whole infrastructure of Abu Dhabi is already ready to welcome this market and has always been welcoming this market for a very long time. One of our biggest markets is the GCC market. For a very long time, we've been attracting the GCC market, who like to come to Abu Dhabi because they feel it is family friendly. It is suited for their lifestyle. Our culture, alhamdulillah, embraces and fits their lifestyle. We have one of the most important things for this market, as you know, is the food. Alhamdulillah, we are very lucky to live in a country where all the food is halal. You can eat international cuisine, from French cuisine to local cuisine, Chinese, your choice. it's all halal. You don't have to worry about it. So the infrastructure is already ready for that. Now what we did in Abu Dhabi to go a mile further is try to communicate with our stakeholders to make them understand the importance of this market and to make them understand how they can fit their offering for this market. And alhamdulillah, we have been very successful with that. The response from our stakeholders has been impressive. Their willingness actually to cooperate and participate with us and adapt their product to this market has been very positive with us. We have created actually a brand identity. We are working on an entire strategy for this market. We have created a logo. We have created 2 different actually names for this market. One we call it halal friendly. And sorry, one we call it halal tourism, and one we call it family friendly. Why? Because when we are talking to the Arab market, to the GCC or MENA, we felt we didn't need to use the word halal, as they understand that we are a halal destination by default. But when we're talking to more Western markets, such as Europe or the US or Australia, we felt that this word is actually what attracts them. They're looking for this word in a destination. So it is the same content, it is the same offering, but depending who we are talking to, we use different terminology.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Next person who is there is from Tourism Malaysia. Before I ask him a question, who has been to Malaysia on a holiday? Sure, plenty of you. That's plenty. I need to pick one of you. There with the black hijab there. No, with the glasses, yes. Can you explain your experience as a Muslim traveler to Malaysia? No, sorry, behind you, right behind you. The microphone is there next to you. What you like in Malaysia and what you don't like, so that we'll get him right there.
Please be very honest.
I don't think that there's anything.
Can you get the mic closer? When did you go to Malaysia?
That's what I was going to say. I traveled a long time ago. Initially, I think in 1992 with my family. Then I traveled with my husband a few years back. And recently, on my trip to Singapore, we just did a trip to Legoland with my daughter across the border. I can't say that there's anything I dislike. It's very easy for the Muslim traveler to go to Malaysia because everything is halal. Prayer facilities are easily available, so it's not an issue for you to move around. And generally, it's just a nice travel destination for Muslim families.
That's too good. Somebody who has something to say. Okay. Here we are. About Malaysia. The microphone here, please. Because we need, because Malaysia has so many good things, and Mr. Zul is going to say how good Malaysia is. I need to get something interesting.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Actually, I have visited more than 35 countries. I visited Malaysia. I just want to tell you that it is the best country I visited. It's not because he's
That's not why I gave you the microphone.
No. I would rank it same as Vienna.
Same
as Austria, Vienna.
Vienna.
Yes.
Vienna
And
Vienna
the
Malaysia
money I
is truly
paid,
Asia.
I'm telling you, I get more value for the money I paid. And I visited Malaysia in 1999 with my family. I'm always telling my friend this fact about the country.
Thank you. So, Zul,
Yes,
how
yes,
is it
Fazal.
possible for Malaysia that nobody wants to say anything bad about it? What have you done right?
I think
I think yeah. What
Yes.
we need seriously, what we need to understand is what have you been doing in Malaysia, which makes it so attractive.
Well, Fazal, of course, thank you for the kind words. Having heard all this, we are always improving ourselves. We are not perfect, I must say, as a wholesome, complete destination. There are still room for improvements. But our tourism industry started more or less to take off way back in the mid-80s. We formed the ministry in 87. We were a bit late forming the ministry in 87. And subsequently to that, for the Middle East and the West Asia market, we were among the pioneers from Southeast Asia to participate in the Arab Travel Mart, which is held in Dubai here every April. And we have never missed the Arab Travel Mart since then. And he has paid dividends a lot to us in terms of arrivals from the Muslim market. And also now we have almost all of the OIC home carriers flying directly into KLIA. And this is very good for the market because connectivity is very important. And slowly, more of the industry players, whether they are Muslim or non-Muslim industry players, has realized the importance of this particular market segment, the contribution from the Muslim travelers. Although the number is not as significant as arrivals from non-Muslim countries, particularly countries like China, India, European countries, Australia, Japan, and so forth. But in terms of spending, per capita spending, the Muslim market contributes the highest for Malaysia. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, UAE, Qatar, Oman, they contribute the highest in terms of per capita spending. And because of this, more industry players, particularly the hoteliers, they are slowly embracing and preparing themselves for the requirement and needs of a Muslim traveler. They are making their hotels more Muslim friendly. They are doing internal training program for their staffs to prepare how to serve the Muslim traveler, particularly family travelers. Because Malaysia, when we talk to a number of travelers, I myself and some of the other people, they see Malaysia more as a family tourism destination. And this is very important because the family comes to travel together, it further bond them much more stronger as a family. The destination, not just for fun, excitement, but the whole family can get this good bonding together, quality time. Like you gentlemen in front here, you mentioned you come with your family, and you the lady with the husband. You spend quality time in a destination, and you enjoy the destination. You see the needs for you as a Muslim traveler, the facilities for you to continue to perform your religious obligation is still there. There is no hurdle for you to continue to say your fasting if you come to Malaysia in Ramadan. You can have your iftar. Hotels are now serving so many variety of food during iftar. There are also services to send you for your Tarawih prayers if you care to perform Tarawih prayers. So all this takes in place to serve the needs better of a Muslim traveler. Public places now public places has prayer rooms for Muslims to perform the daily prayers if they want to. And of course, when we travel as a Muslim, we look for halal food. And Malaysia is the only country where the certificate is issued by a government body, the halal certification. It is even sought after by non-Muslim countries. I've been to non-Muslim countries in East Asia like Korea, Japan, Taiwan. They even ask if our Department of Religious Affairs can issue the certificate for them in their country. But of course, our standards is for Malaysia only. But we do share what we do in terms of issuing the certification. And halal food is not just confined to the main kitchen in the hotels. You can find halal food everywhere when you visit in Malaysia. Fast food, for example, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, everything. The logo, halal logo is there, placed prominently to give assurance to the Muslim traveler that the food prepared and the whole works is permissive.
Yeah, I think that's why not many people think that you can go to Malaysia and don't worry about anything, and especially when people. I have had a lot of discussions with a lot of travel organizations this part of the world, and when people make the last minute I'll come back to you. When last minute decisions, they want to find a place, and especially if you make the decision that you want to travel tomorrow, And the best option is to get on a plane and travel to Malaysia, because that's the easiest option. I'll get back to you. Yeah, I'll get Brother Rianto a chance. I mean, he has been a pioneer in the Sharia, even well before the market discussed about Sharia compliant hotels. He was on it for many, many years. He has been a pioneer on that. I think what I would like to sort of get out there is, what is, there are a lot of hotels now trying to, cater to the Muslim market, Sharia compliant, Muslim friendly, many, many different names out there. But what's the single most challenge, in terms of getting a hotel to become a more, let's say, Sharia compliant, as you say, a Sharia compliant? What is the single most challenge that you face, both from your side and also from a guest experience point of view?
Okay, the first thing that we do, we decided to be Sharia compliant in 1992. So during that times, it's not like right now. Everything, the awareness of the market is very big. So what we did is actually is a kind of like product oriented. So it's like product create market. So the challenge, the most challenge that we face is the paradigm, because this is like a new paradigm of doing business, especially in the hotels. Because the hotels, there's a lot of things that is really, you can find a lot of things that is not Sharia compliance, like the alcohols, and also sort of like entertainment and things like that. That we used also to have that, like a nightclub. We used to have a nightclub, there's a live band inside, and there is an aquarium inside the nightclub, but it's not contain fish. Astaghfirullah. They have some like lady entertainers, things like that. So when we did the transformation to Sharia compliant, we closed that. There's a lot of challenges in paradigm, because in the hotels, in the hotel business, like in the tourism business and services, is basically mostly based on services, and it depends on the people. It depends on the employee and the staffs. So we cannot control 24 hours how to conduct the business. So we have to change the paradigm that this is just like maybe in a universal way. You said it's just like a different kind of motivational attitude training has to be instilled in the company. So the value, the corporate value that we have to instill will be in place.
Thank you. Microphone to the lady here.
Hi.
Short, please. Short
Hello.
question.
I just remembered an experience
We
that
can't hear you well.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
better.
I was just remembering an experience that I had in Malaysia about 10 years ago. I traveled there as a journalist to cover the First World Halal Forum. And as part of the trip, the press were brought to Malaysia Airlines to see how all the systems are in place in terms of making everything halal with the food preparation and so on. And one of the departments that they showed us, which was very interesting to me, was that for all the crockery and all the cutlery, the utensils that are used in the planes, they put them through a clay wash. I had no idea, to make them halal, and I had no idea that this happened. It was quite fascinating that an airline would do that. I don't know if other airlines do that, but that was just something that I noted there.
Thanks, yeah. So that's a different topic altogether. So there is a requirement in some school of Islamic fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence, especially in the Shafi school, that you have to wash the plates with a certain way to clean if it touches pork. So let's not go into jurisprudence here. So we can discuss a little bit later on that one. Okay, I'll take another question from you there.
Assalamu alaikum. I'd like your opinions about other things that are important in travel other than halal food and ensuring that there's prayer areas. As a Muslim female traveler, when I decide to travel somewhere, the things that I'm looking for, number one is security and transportation around a country. And I think that's something that we have to think about, how also the corruption level within a country. How do we take it into that aspect of things, of ensuring that you allow for Muslim travelers and most travelers to feel that comfort within a country that they're in? Because I can go to London and I can get halal food. I can go to New York and I can get a prayer mat and prayer direction in my hotel. So how are you going to start actually looking at how to be more competitive and offer more than just those aspects of having halal or Muslim travel?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, and I think I'll bring to the, discuss a little bit on the issue that we are facing today. We are facing a huge issue where I think I saw a survey done, I think last week, I think in the UK or someplace, they went and asked people, will you travel to a Muslim country for holiday? And 3 out of 4 said no. So we have an issue, both image issue and a security issue in many OIC destinations. So how do we tackle this? How can we, most of the destination, this is perception at the end of the day. Most of it is not real. So how do we counter this perception?
I mean, the perception to counter this perception is by the Muslim himself. We are all ambassadors for Islam. So we as individuals, we have to portray the good image of Islam. I mean, there are challenges from other various areas which are, giving a stereotype or a wrong impression about Islam. But we have to be much more stronger to portray a better image. And to talk about, an individual who's traveling. Actually, if you take the context of traveling, halal travel is all defined within the person himself. You can do the halal travel, or you can just avoid the halal travel. So it is all within the ethics of the person himself, and he's the person who will portray the correct image about Islam.
Yeah, from Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi is right in the midst. Malaysia is right in the midst of all this. We are looking at growth, but there are major challenges. How would you position Abu Dhabi to counter these perceptions?
You're right, and I thank you for bringing this up. This is definitely an issue that we cannot neglect. Unfortunately, with all the turmoil and events happening in the region, it's not easy being in a Muslim country. It's not easy to convince people who have never come here that it is a safe place. But usually once they come here, Abu Dhabi, for example, is viewed as a very, very safe place, very family friendly. You mentioned traveling alone as a woman. For example, in Abu Dhabi, we do have, and you mentioned transportation, we have ladies-only taxis. We call them the pink taxi. So you can call a ladies-only taxi, so you will feel safe to be taken from the airport or from your hotel or wherever. You will be driven by a woman. Abu Dhabi, the leadership in Abu Dhabi, we honor women, we respect women. The leadership in Abu Dhabi does everything they can to push women for a higher education. And alhamdulillah, what we see today is more and more ladies reach a very high degree in education. And you will be very surprised to see that nothing stops them, even though they have children and they are working and they're still studying at the same time. I'm myself doing a master's degree right now, and I'm very surprised in my class in the university. I have so many ladies with me who are mothers and are full-time working, and they are mothers and still pursuing. And actually, the majority, we are ladies. We have only one man with us. I don't know why, but there is only one man with us. The majority are ladies. So, alhamdulillah, and no, it is a place where it is safe for a woman to live or to visit. We have an issue maybe outside of the Arab world with the image and how they perceive us. But once they come here, they're very surprised themselves to see how safe it is to live here, alhamdulillah.
We had a question? Yeah.
Fazal,
yes.
Can I just add a little bit to that?
Please, a little bit only.
I think it is beyond security and safety. There is a whole compendium of factors here that probably affects why a person don't want to travel to a Muslim country. For us Muslims, when we travel, it all begins with an intention. Why do we want to travel? Why do I come to Dubai here for GIES? Why are you all here? And that intention must be pure, must be good intention, must be positive, must be decent. We don't travel to create something that is bad. We don't have the niyat to travel to create something that is not good at the destination that we go. And of course, we enrich ourselves with new information, knowledge, and so forth, and meet other Muslim brothers and sisters, see how they live, how they work, how they play, and so forth. And also non-Muslim people that we meet if we go to a non-Muslim country. And at the same time, we value and appreciate the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that make this universe that we live in here. But if we go and do something not good and bad, the whole image, ecosystem of a Muslim and the religion itself becomes negative. You see? So what I'm trying to say is we also have a responsibility that when we travel, we must show the good side of us. Always show the good side of us. And this is something that maybe, you know, can be discussed at another forum. The traveling habits of a Muslim traveler.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
the
you.
traveling habits of a Muslim traveler. We have heard so many types of stories. Hotels having to deal with the Muslim traveler. Some good stories, some bad stories. And this all create, you know, the impression that maybe, you know, there is some bad side to it. It's not just the security or whatsoever. I think security, every country is trying to do their level best to give the best security to the tourists or the traveler that come. But if there's people that with bad intention to create chaos and to disrupt that security, you know, and if it comes from the Muslim themselves, then this is something that we need to address.
Thanks. Yeah, I think one of the biggest issues I, in my work, face is when I talk to tourism boards and hotels and travel agents in non-Muslim countries is when they suddenly give me an example of a Muslim traveler's behaviors, then it becomes tough to discuss with them. Anyway, your question, yes.
It's a very interesting conversation, but I'm slightly biased. I was born in Abu Dhabi, so I see it as an international destination. I've traveled to Malaysia as well. But my question is around sort of more of the business aspect of things. When you're communicating to one customer segment, which is the Muslim traveler, versus you also trying to be an international destination, there is a huge balancing act between the two. You don't want to go more in one direction and then completely isolate the other. So how do you sort of overcome the dichotomy between that sort of plan, be it infrastructure or marketing?
Yeah, maybe can you,
Okay.
from a hotel's point of view,
Right.
maybe how do you manage both a non-Muslim
Okay.
guest and a Muslim guest? I'll come back to you with a clear example of more of a destination as well. Yes.
Okay, one of the things that we do, I think, we have to focus on the services, products and services that we sell. Because Sharia compliance, I think you should consider it as like a premium guaranteed products, just like Intel Inside in the computers. But you're selling not the Intel Inside, but you're selling the Samsung or the Sony or Dell or Lenovo, things like that. So the other thing is, the first thing you have to have install like a quality management system, so you can rest assured that the quality of products is inclusive and also to the standard that you are branding your company is. And the other thing is, I think you should have like a unique selling propositions. What kind of things that differentiate you from others, even the conventional. So you compete not only to the Muslim market, but you compete just like to the other conventional hotels. I think that's what you should do, and your mindset has to be there. And that's what we do. So we trying to do in everything that we do in terms of product services and also communicating, branding and everything is in a universal ways. Yeah, but still they know that this is it's Sharia compliance. So in other words, maybe for the quality, you should comply with the ISO 9000 2008 and also the food safety management system and all those kind of best practices that we do in the hospitality industry.
I would like to get just very briefly from Tourism Malaysia and Abu Dhabi on how do you balance your messaging, very, very briefly.
Yeah, thank
Zul.
you for the questions. I think I think all this at the end of the day is the consumer's choice, traveler's choice. But having said that, of course, for us in Malaysia, being a multiracial, multi-religious country, despite Islam, the official religion, and Muslim dominate the population, the government also prepares the industry to cater to the non-Muslim travelers' needs. They have the choice. If they want to stay in a Muslim-friendly hotel that provides no alcohol at all whatsoever, entertainment and so forth, they can choose. If they want a hotel that have all these other elements, that fulfill their desire whatsoever, is their choice. But having said that, I have seen non-Muslim travelers, particularly those with families, young children. I've seen them accommodating themselves in Muslim-friendly, Sharia-compliant hotels. When I asked the general manager, why do you ask some of these people why they come to stay at your hotel as opposed to other hotels that has all these other facilities and so forth? They are looking for a place where they can have the peace of mind for their family, particularly for their children. They are avoiding hotels that have lounges that are noisy, people who cannot hold their drink when they consume too much alcohol, you know, they get into the lift and trouble the other guests and so forth, you see. So this is the scenario now that is between the Muslim traveler and the non-Muslim traveler. But at the end of the day, it's a consumer's choice, and slowly, like I said just now, you know, the industry players are accommodating themselves to this segment and also to the other segment.
Thanks. Sister Huria, I just want to get your view on what you do promotional point of view and a messaging point of view. How do you balance between messaging to the Muslim audience and then, I mean, you talked about 2 brands that you talked about as well.
Yeah, that was one example I gave within the Muslim travel, for example. Obviously, we target many other segments, not just the halal segment. And just like Brother Zulfiki said, we have something for everybody in Abu Dhabi. We have from the high-end luxury market, we have something for Chinese market, for European, we have something for everybody. And we also have very, very similar stories, as he mentioned. Interestingly enough, the offerings for the Muslim market have been also well accepted by the non-Muslim market. I'll give you one example. For example, our dry hotels, or our hotels that do not serve alcohol, are very appreciated by, for example, football teams or international teams who come to Abu Dhabi. Very often their management choose to stay in a hotel that doesn't serve alcohol for obvious reason. And we have also, as he mentioned, European families also choose by choice to stay in a hotel that doesn't serve alcohol, especially when they have teenage kids. So I don't think that our message closes the doors. I mean, when we say that we are a halal-friendly destination, I don't think that it closes the doors to the other markets, because we have a lot of choices. We have something for every market and every needs.
Yeah, it's about a choice. So we have about 10-15 minutes more. So I just want to move a little bit on the opportunities for SMEs and startups in this space. Before I do that, how many of you are in the startup space in the travel sector or wanting to be in the travel sector startup? There are a few out there. I'll get to you. So maybe I start with Brother Salah. You know, where do you see the opportunities in the travel space for startups? You know, in this space. You know, what do you think they should be looking at? What areas are hot? There are gaps.
Well, I think that in the tourism business, it's a wide open range. So you cannot fix it or focus it on just one area. But most of the businesses, if we look at it, the trend which has been, it's mainly on the portals which have come up. And we can see the success in many international portals which have been successful. And if you look at the travel industry from the travel side, from the travel agent side, it has been evolving. You know, we had the ticketing, paper ticketing, then it went to e-ticketing, and then from e-ticketing, it came into portals. And the initiative which was taken yesterday, actually from the government of Dubai, by having the Salam portal coming, it can be a good idea to have this portal used, where they can probably have a section where they can promote people with ideas and creative ideas for like small, medium enterprises to come up with their ideas on the travel tourism, and on the other side to have businesses or banks which are, as investors, are looking to invest. So if they use that portal to promote these ideas and creative, I'm sure there'll be more ideas coming up and more businesses which can move into, real life.
Sister Huria, about what does Abu Dhabi do, and what does TCA do to encourage innovation in this space?
Actually, our department in TCA, one of our main mandate is to attract foreign, local or foreign direct investment to the Emirate of Abu Dhabi in the leisure department. So we talk a lot with many governmental and also private organizations that fund SMEs. We are in very close contact with them, and every time they receive an entrepreneur who has an idea, who has a project related to tourism, they will send him to us. We look at his project, we advise him, we help him in terms of facilitating, connecting him to the right people. Sometimes we might do a seed fund, but that is not our main core. We help him with data. We can help him also with promotion. We work very closely with, for example, Etihad Airways. We might help promote his product in their magazine or through their airplanes. We also have 11 international offices worldwide. We can help promote their products throughout all our offices. So this is one way that we help SMEs. And we help them also advising them on gaps, what is missing in Abu Dhabi. So
what is the biggest gap that you see in Abu Dhabi for tourism?
One of the biggest gap, I would say, is leisure, probably, leisure products, entertainment, probably.
Mine says 15 minutes. You're going to reduce 15 minutes, discounting 10 minutes, okay.
And just like Brother Saleh said, we also have through our portal, through TCA website, you can, if you are an entrepreneur and you have an idea, you can log on and send us, put your details, and somebody from us will get back to you and will invite you to come in and show us your project.
Questions from entrepreneurs, questions from startups. Who has questions as a startup? Startup question? Not a startup, we'll wait for you. Startup question. You there, yes.
She said entertainment, but the thing is, what kind of entertainment are you missing? For example, in Abu Dhabi, I know, like, I'm from Sharjah, so in Sharjah we have a little bit family friendly, but still there's gaps.
Yeah.
For example, there's not really thing for sports for kids, and especially for girls, and that is affordable for families. For example, a traveler comes, they want to still work out, where do they go?
Do you have such products in Abu Dhabi?
For
sports, for girls? And
we do. We have Zayed Sport City, actually, which have a lot of programs just for girls. They have a lot of ladies timing only for ice skating or several different sports. So Zayed Sport City, they are very active.
So the question is, you know, how do you promote those facilities and services?
I see. I see. Well, through our website, we have what things to do in Abu Dhabi. So you have a whole list of different activities you can do in the whole Emirate of Abu Dhabi. Actually, not just the capital. Just to recapitulate, Abu Dhabi has 3 different regions, the city, and then Al Ain city in the eastern region, and Al Gharbiya region. So through our website, you will see all the activities in the entire emirate, not just the city.
Any questions? Any more questions? Startup question? Yes, there you are. I'll get to you, definitely.
Assalamu alaikum. As a non-Muslim, but someone who is interested in the subject of Sharia compliant tourism, we represent an organization called Safe Hotels, which is specifically focused on safety and security, concentrated on the hotel industry specifically. I'm interested to hear the views about Sharia tourism being synonymous with safety, family friendly. What can you universally do with your geographic backgrounds, your responsibilities? What can you do to impact hotel development, the way that hotels communicate with their universal marketing, their observance of Sharia principles and the safety and security, but also critically, as the thought leaders in this space, we had a comment about good intentions amongst Muslim travelers, and perhaps the holiest of good intentions from Muslim travelers is to pursue the Hajj and Umrah, but we hear terrible stories about people with good intentions going to the holy sites and losing their lives. Is there anything that you can do as the thought leaders to work with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to help them to improve the way that tourism is perceived in their country, but also globally? When we hear these stories, it gets a bad perception of Muslim tourism out into the global community.
Okay, let me just briefly tell my view about it, although I'm not a panelist. But what we have done in the work that we do, we released the Global Muslim Travel Index beginning of this year with MasterCard. So one of the key criteria was safety. We have 9 criteria to benchmark destinations. So one criteria was safety, because safety, irrespective of whether Muslim or not, whether you're family or not, is a prime concern. I'm not going to discuss too much about, on Saudi Arabia, but safety, how seriously do you take? I mean, it's a question that, of course, we all take seriously, the safety. We all want safety to be part of the story. So maybe you.
I think Fazal.
Yeah.
Fazal, I think safety is something that nobody can guarantee. The safest what do you call this strategy or whatever you put in place. If people were to have very bad intention, they can still get around it and do something about it.
But having said
interestingly,
that, I think safety has to be a key element in anything what we do, especially on tourism. So I think from our point of view, we are pushing that to be one of the key elements in anything what we benchmark. So I don't want to forget you on the question that you had. Yes. Microphone there, please. Yes.
Good morning. My name is Bingo. I'm from China. I have been here for about 3 years. Yeah, but when I first, learned that I will go to a place of Abu Dhabi, I didn't know where Abu Dhabi is and what about it, the city. But we all know that I think the most of Chinese know Dubai. Where's Dubai and what Dubai means. So. But I was quite impressed when I just settled down here. Actually, my first year, I spent my first in Abu Dhabi. So I was really impressed by the infrastructure, the safety, the security, and also I think the facilities as well. And I was also impressed by the plan of your city, the 2030, the vision. And also, the plan for the development of Saadiyat Island. There are some areas there and some big projects going on. So my first question is that, nowadays the oil price, because of the oil price issue, and I think the budget for the government could be at least to a certain degree affected by that. Do you think that the government of Abu Dhabi will still keep up with your plan for developing, for example, Saadiyat Islands, and especially the airport, the Abu Dhabi airport? According to my, for example, according to my knowledge, information that the new airport of Abu Dhabi will be operational on 7th July 2017. So whether it will be will be really operational on that day or not.
Thanks. I think the question is, sorry, you had.
Just add one point to the brother there, that 80% of the UAE, the GDP of UAE is non-oil.
Non-oil. I think that's a good question.
I think that is 60%.
Okay, fine. I think let's worry about stats later. So I think the question to you is, forget about all that. Is any of your plans changed due to anything that happened last few months, or you're going ahead with all the plans that you have? In terms of, let's focus on the travel sector.
Sure. The vision of Abu Dhabi, like you mentioned, is a very big vision and very long term. So, of course, in life, catastrophes happen, and of course, in life, you have shocks and economical shock or whatever. But when the leadership does not want to stop its plan. It's very, very long term. When you have a long-term vision, you cannot let things that you didn't expect stop your plan. So, alhamdulillah, we are moving along with the plan. Now, the exact opening date of the airport, I'm not very sure of. It will, inshallah, most likely still be 2017, but I don't know if it's 7th of July. That one, I'm not sure, but it's coming up. If you drive past Abu Dhabi, you will see the structure is really prominent and coming along very nicely. So we're really looking forward for our new midfield terminal, inshallah. And inshallah, one by one, our project will be unveiling.
Okay, I think we have probably one or two questions only left. So who has a great question to ask the panel? No, I think you have your time. Sorry, your question.
Yeah, just a quick question for Ria. You mentioned there was a gap in your entertainment. Why is that? Is that anything to do with the local culture, or is something that hasn't been attended? Because I thought you had quite a bit of a wide range of facilities. So which area and why?
We have, alhamdulillah, in Abu Dhabi, although I said we have a gap in entertainment, that is one example that I gave, and that is an opportunity actually for investors. But our entertainment portfolio keeps growing. We have started for example, with our theme parks such as Ferrari and Yas Water World. That was just the beginning. We have many things planned ahead, but I just gave this as an example for any investor who is looking to develop a product in Abu Dhabi. That would be a good opportunity for him to look.
Okay, one more question before we start wrapping up. Yep, okay, there.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
My name is Mona. I was born and raised in Abu Dhabi, and now I live in Canada.
Abu Dhabi.
Huh?
It's all about Abu Dhabi.
I know.
My other panelists are going to get upset with me.
Sorry, guys. But I wanted to start something that is YouTube related, internet related when it comes to halal tourism. And I'm not sure if you know Team Al-Falasi. She's on YouTube. Dubai, no, but anyways, so she travels around the world, and she's Emirati girl, and I was thinking this is the future, YouTube vlogging for all the youth out there, and I was wondering if you guys have anything that is related to media, internet, things like that.
You're talking more about digital.
Digital media.
We are obviously on all the digital platforms, and we have created apps. We have our apps, Visit Abu Dhabi app, and we through our website also we going inshallah to launch a special section dedicated to halal tourism.
I think you should talk to her after the session and get more information. I think we are pretty much getting to the time. So just the last few questions, Brother Sofia, Brother Rianto. So. Yeah. Let's focus on the hotels. What should be the ideal model to balance, both Muslim and non-Muslim guests for a hotelier. If they are, let's move away from the Sharia compliant part of it. Let's say a hotel in London. What should they do in order to balance the requirements of Muslims and non-Muslim? Very briefly.
Basically, the services of the hotel itself, to balance it up so they can serve the whole market, is the basic, like the water-friendly washroom. Yes, that I think can be done by everybody. And then also the halal food. Yes. And the other thing is the information of salat prayers and direction of Qibla and things like that. And also, maybe they can provide, if they cannot provide the whole hotels friendly to the Muslim travelers, maybe they can provide the special floors or segmentation, a part of the hotels that is friendly to there's no rowdy bars and things like that. I think that's one of the easiest part to be compelling to the Muslim markets.
Thank you. Brother Zul, what's the next big initiative of Tourism Malaysia towards the Muslim market?
Next big initiative? Well, of course, this particular segment is expanding, and every day we see something new. And we want to have more efforts in the digital media segment here, and try and pull as many followers and travelers to share their stories about traveling to another Muslim country, and also non-Muslim traveling to Muslim countries, you know, to tell the good stories about what they do and the people they meet, and so forth. And of course, in terms of promotion and marketing, this particular segment, rest assured, Malaysia will continue to be present, and the government is always very supportive.
Thanks. I think
of that particular segment.
Just one sentence. I think you're having a major conference coming up in a few weeks, so maybe very briefly you can tell them about it. Yes.
Sure. We would like to welcome you all, inshallah, on the 19th, 20th, and 21st of October, 2 weeks from now. Abu Dhabi will be hosting the World Halal Travel Summit. It will be a 3-day event, and we are expecting more than 57 countries. We have already more than 57 countries participating with us. We are expecting thousands of delegates, so it is a good platform for you to learn more about opportunities in the halal tourism. You can meet investors. We have more than 400 investors that are coming, especially dedicated to this market. So it is a good platform for you to come.
Thank you. Last question to Brother Salah. You know, you have traveled a lot in many places. You know, what would be your advice to Muslim travelers who are traveling to many countries? You know, what would be advice so that, you know, we build our image as Muslim travelers, you know, and which helps the industry as a whole, you know?
Well, the one advice is for the Muslim travelers is not to be shy. You practice your daily prayers, become a Muslim, and you become an ambassador to the whole world. So the only thing is not to be shy.
Thank you very much. That basically brings us to the close of this session. Thanks a lot to all of you. Thanks to GIES as well for inviting us. And thanks a lot to this great panel. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.